Leaders of the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, converged in Johannesburg on Tuesday for a summit to weigh expanding the bloc. Beyond the enlargement question, boosting the use of member states' local currency is also on the summit agenda. My colleague Beatrice Marshall is in Johannesburg at the Sandton Convention Center, where she's following the proceedings for us. Beatrice, we hear the BRICS leaders are holding a mini retreat and dinner this evening, where they are likely to discuss a framework and criteria for admitting new countries. What do you have for us, Beatrice?
Well, Richard, that's right. The summit has started officially. Leaders of the BRICS members have made their opening remarks, where Russian President Vladimir Putin participated virtually. Well, my colleague Robert Nagila has been following that development. He's been following that very closely. He's joining us now. Robert, we have heard from the leaders at the summit. What have been the immediate reactions?
Well, Beatrice, for months we had known that two particular items would be on the agenda that have generated a lot of discussion across the world. That is the expansion of the BRICS membership and decoupling BRICS member states from the dollar, that is, using the dollar when they are trading. Now, there was a schedule that was put out by the BRICS team that would be discussed later on today, but of course you know that these things are subject to change. However, halfway through his speech at the BRICS Business Leaders Summit this evening, President Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa announced that indeed, yes, the leaders would discuss the expansion of the BRICS membership at a retreat this evening. And also Russian President Vladimir Putin chipping in during his statement, saying that they would also discuss decoupling of the dollar, that is the use of local currencies when they are trading amongst BRIC member states. Now, the Russian president is not here himself, and that was a pre-recorded statement. However, I can tell you that at that retreat, he will join them via video link as they discuss these particular issues. So it has generated quite some excitement. It may be days yet before we get to know what has been decided on the expansion, because they have to discuss how, when, and what the criteria will be for these countries to join in. Because the other thing they'll be looking at as well is what these countries bring to the table, how these countries will then also benefit from the BRICS. But what it does do is, once these countries do come in, it immediately makes the BRICS bloc one of, if not the most powerful trading bloc globally, and that is quite something. Beatrice?
Well, Robert, you have mentioned two interesting issues that were mentioned by the leaders during the opening remarks. You know, one of the expansion of the BRICS member countries, and the other one of using national currencies as currencies of trade. What do we expect, though, over the coming days?
Well, these are two issues. Now, on the issue of expansion, I believe that they'll make some headway very, very quickly. We know that quite a few leaders from several countries have been invited for this particular summit, the 15th BRICS Summit, and they are in attendance as well. So I believe that they will make progress on that one very, very quickly. Now, on the question of currency, that may not be sorted out by the end of this summit. That may take some more time. We expect some input from the new development bank, the BRICS Bank. We expect some input from business leaders who are in this BRICS member states as well. But the final decision, of course, will be taken by the leaders. Now, on the expansion, we know that between 23 countries have applied, and there are other countries also interested in joining, but are yet to make that application. So we expect that to dominate the headlines in the coming days, particularly whatever comes out from tonight's retreat. This may be an indication of what direction this summit will take over the coming few days. Beatrice?
All right, Robert Nagila has been following the developments for us here throughout the day. Thank you.